My dear pastors and your spouses, thank you for allowing me to speak a few words on a very important topic, for me personally, finances. Now this topic is as wide as you want it to be because we all grew up and live in different circumstances. We all think differently on money and managing our personal finances. For some of us, it is very important to look wealthy and have the latest and greatest in everything. We think that the church must see that the pastor is successful and everything shines. But it can have a very negative impact on our financial well-being because it is seldom that we buy those things cash. Most of the time they are on credit. We loan the money from somewhere, and debt is one of the things that can kill your life joy. I don't know if you can remember when you received your last cell phone or drove your car from the showroom floor. You felt like you have arrived, you're king of the road, and life is good. But unfortunately, that feeling slowly but surely starts to disappear in thin air when you have to keep up with the payments. And social media also requires us to flash the newest and greatest. One of the ways many pastors live financially is literally from month to month. The moment when they receive their salary flows out to service the many responsibilities that we have. This brings a lot of stress and the mentality that I never have enough. The problem is that we can maybe earn 10 times what we earn now, but if we've got the mentality I'll never have enough, we will always be in debt. If you are in that group, this is especially for you. For the pastors that are in a good space financially, please keep on listening because I will probably enforce your good habits and help you to be even better stewards of what God has entrusted to you. The first and foremost thing that people that are financially safe and secure do is that they are able to tell you exactly where their money goes. They've got a budget. What is a budget? It's a very personal document in which you write down your income and expenses. If you constantly spend more than what you earn and your income is, you will end up in debt. You will owe money on your credit card and on an overdraft and even sometimes personal loans. Because without a budget, you just spend and you cannot give account of where your money was spent. A budget tells our money where we want it to go. That is if you stick to it. I have not seen anybody making a financial success with doing two things well. They spend less than what they earn and they have a budget. And they can tell you exactly how much money they have in their account any moment of the day or night. If you ask them how much they spend on groceries monthly, they will be able to tell you, give you a fairly accurate amount. All the expenses will be within certain percentages. Don't know if you have heard about the 50-30-20 rule. 50% needs, 30% wants, 20% savings, and future planning. There are other rules with different percentages. It doesn't actually matter which one you follow. What is important is that you plan your expenditure and that you budget. Budget helps you to give full account of what you are doing with your money. If you can't give account of what you do with your money, you are not a good steward, and God will not trust you with more unless He can see that you are trustworthy. Something that will lessen financial stress is to have an emergency fund, an amount of money in an accessible account to help you when there is an emergency. When you end up in a car accident and you must pay the excess, or your glasses gets broken and they need to be replaced, or your computer or cell phone gets stolen and you must buy a new one. This fund is only for emergencies, not for wants or a special at the clothing store. How much must be in an emergency fund? The target for an emergency fund is to have at least 3 months of your salary saved. If you have attained that target, save until you have 6 months of your salary saved, then you are safe. And very few things will financially happen that will have a detrimental effect on your life. You'll be able to survive and stay in ministry. You know, many pastors, if there's trouble in the assembly and they can't pay his salary, he's out of ministry. And that's not a good place to be. I don't know about you, but many times the assembly income fluctuate, and as we as pastors, we sometimes get paid last. You are many times expected to make a sacrifice. In my ministry times, there were many months I didn't even receive a salary, but God provided in miraculous ways. And my emergency fund gave some sense of peace that me and my family will not go hungry. Lastly, I want to encourage you to stay faithful in your tithing. We expect our members to tithe and do it so faithfully every month. But are you as a pastor a good example? God expects us to teach our people about tithing and the blessings thereof. But many of us as pastors, we are not even faithful. Tithing is a test of who is my provider. When I tithe, I proclaim that God is my provider and He can use any way or means to care for my financial needs. I pray that you will experience the blessings of God on your finances and will be an example to your assembly and the broader community of God's provision in your life. May you have many testimonies of how God filled your financial needs miraculously. God bless.